So when we get into trust, this is one of the things that is going to be your first lesson. Has anybody ever heard the term jurisdiction shopping? So what jurisdiction shopping means that it don't matter what state you live in, what jurisdiction you live in, you're able to shop in whatever jurisdiction fits you the best. What that means as it relates to trust is just because you live in Florida doesn't mean your trust has to be in Florida, right? Because remember, I said all truths are parallel. Did y'all know that 64% of all Fortune 500 companies are domiciled in the state of Delaware? What that mean? What that mean is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's home office is in Atlanta, but their business is domiciled in Delaware. Boeing's home office is in Seattle, but their business is domiciled in Delaware. Why do y'all think they do that? Protection. Tax protection, liability protection. They're able to use the jurisdiction of Delaware, even though their home office is in another state. The same, and they're just the entity on paper. We're all in this room are entities in the flesh and blood. The same thing that an entity on paper can do, a flesh and blood entity can do as well. So the way that they do this with their business, you can do this with your trust. Did anybody know that for the past 5 years for the United States, the highest rated state to cite as your trust is in Nevada? Do y'all know why? I'm going to give you some reasons why. Complete asset protection. Nevada affords the most protection of any state in the United States. There are no exceptions to creditors, not even in the case of claims for spousal or child support. Under the law, forced heirship claims pursuant to civil law would be rejected as well. Do y'all know what they mean by it when they say forced heirship? Y'all ever see?
So the son really can't.
Because here's what people do. Because you on the right track. So for example, let's say you have 4 children. All right, 2 children. Let's say you have 2, and I like that. So let's get specific.
He helped me. I knew you were gonna be here, but I didn't know. I almost didn't come.
Oh no, I'm glad you came.
I'm glad I came because I want to ask you when you're talking about the trust and stuff, whatever. If I get this will signed here in Florida, right? But I'm moving to Texas. I'm not coming back to Florida. But I have 2 kids or whatever. What is the legal ramification with me moving, having resident, and was here in Florida, but I'm having resident in Texas?
So it's whatever your trust documents say. So even though you live, so you get it started in Florida.
Right.
Oh, your will. So even though you started it in Florida, but you're moving it to Texas, it'll probably in your will, it says something specifically. Depending on whatever the jurisdiction that it says in your will that it'll follow, that's what you have to abide by. So as long as whatever state that your will says is following, you abide by those, like making sure that you get the witnesses just like you said, and making sure that you get it notarized like you said, then it still should hold some weight. But once again, it's still probate. But to my point, let's say most people, they have multiple children. They'll say, I'm leaving all this to all my children. Anybody ever heard of all my children? What happens when you die? But you know, all the secret kids come out at the funeral. Especially if you was a CDL driver, right? but all the secret kids. So what happens is, what they're saying is, once again, we know nobody is not going to just be, you know, I'm going to say nobody, but y'all wouldn't just disinherit your children and all that. But you want what to happen to happen. If a kid that you never knew about just came out of nowhere trying to bust up your trust, what this saying is in Nevada, there's no forced heirship. The commitment to the state is a strict reading of the statute and has been upheld by decision of the Nevada Supreme Court. What they're saying is, not only do we stand by this, we took it to court and we won, right? Nevada also has an abbreviated statute of limitations of only 2 years from transfer into the trust before the transferred assets are protected. So a lot of states, they have it to where once it transfers into the trust, they could still try to sue and get access. What they're saying is, hey, once it gets transferred and after a couple years go by, listen, you good. You don't have to worry about anything. No taxes. Nevada imposes no income taxes or transfer taxes with respect to trusts administered in the state. This just isn't a statutory requirement. It's embedded in the Nevada Constitution. Every state has their brands. Whenever people think about Florida, they think about sunshine and oranges, right? When people think about these type of states like Delaware for businesses or Wyoming, so Delaware for corporations, Wyoming for small businesses, Nevada when it comes to taxes, that's their brand. They say, hey, your brand is sunshine and oranges. My brand is helping people avoid unnecessary taxes and protect their family with these strong trusts, and we'll fight for our brand, right?